Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. And looking at you right there is the Indoraptor, and this is the third Indoraptor, if we're not counting the minifigures anyway, to come out of the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom line, and this quite possibly may be my favorite. Now, a lot of people will think, well, you're kind of crazy for thinking that, because the Grab and Growl or the super articulated Indoraptors are both so great, and they are, I would not disagree. But this one, in my opinion, is so nice looking and so cool. I really love it. And the fact that there is nothing screwing up the neck here, there's no kind of a joint or anything weird, can really give you a beautiful shot of that neck and the head, and I think it looks so nice. This is the closest thing to what I would consider a model more so than a toy, simply because there isn't too much in the way of seams or awkward areas that you have on the figure to make it playable or anything like that, or articulated. It really looks awesome because of it, and I love that. I absolutely love the way it looks. I think it's in a very cool pose, being on all fours, and it just in general looks really nice. So let's get a closer look at this guy. So taking a look here at the head sculpt, you can see the head sculpt looks beautiful. It probably is the same similar head sculpt to the rest of the Indoraptors that we've reviewed. But regardless, I still think it looks really nice. Unfortunately, a lot of people won't like the fact that it doesn't have an articulated jaw. But at the same time, I think it really makes the teeth look very nice because of it not being articulated. And I really wish they would have included some sort of a paint on the teeth so you could distinguish them a little better, considering how dark and black the figure is. But if somebody took one of these and repainted it, it would look incredible in my opinion. And I just think that these teeth would look by far better than any of the other Indoraptor figures that we've gotten. Although the Grab and Growl did look really nice with its teeth, but these ones look super nice in my opinion. The overall head sculpt looks fantastic, and I love that they have actually included some slices here on the side of the head of the Indoraptor, so it's got a few wounds right there. I don't recall if any of the other Indoraptor figures had that actually, so that is a very cool addition to this figure in particular, if not. You can see the eye is painted nicely, but shockingly doesn't have quite the gloss that a lot of the other Mattel figures have. It's got a little bit of a gloss, you can see it shine as I turn it, but it's definitely not as glossy as the other figures. And in general, the overall body isn't quite as glossy as a lot of the other ones are. The articulated and Grab and Growl are really super shiny and are very glossy, but this one's not so much. I don't know if you would consider that good or bad. It definitely still has a glossy look to it, but not quite as glossy. You can see it has included that nice red paint right behind the eye, and then it's also got those quills up on the top of the head like all the other ones have had. Coming down into the neck area, the scale work and everything looks fantastic. The overall sculpt looks beautiful. You got some skin folds and some veins and such running down the neck. That gold coloration looks really nice, really naturally applied. Coming down into the arms are sculpted beautifully. There is no mobility within the wrist, and I think it looks very nice actually. The hand over there looks nice and creepy, kind of in an upward position as it's taking a step forward. Looks very cool. The nails look beautiful. Again, no difference in paint than the rest of the body, and it doesn't really look like there's a gloss on them, but they do still look very nice. And then coming up here into the midsection of the dinosaur, you can see the quills are starting to form on the top of the back, and the scales look fantastic all over the side. Some more nice skin folds there, and you can see that orange coloration starting to come in, and I really think the orange looks better on this one than it does on any of the other Indoraptors as well. I don't know why, it's just a darker shade, and I think it looks nicer in general. And then coming back here into the leg, you can see that those scales look beautiful. As you come down the leg into the calves here, you can see that they have nice calf muscles, and that is another addition to this figure. Although the legs on all the Indoraptors look pretty scrawny, this one looks the closest to me, in my opinion anyway, as to what you see in the film. It doesn't look so scrawny and doesn't have a serious lack of musculature like the others do. The feet look very nice, beautifully sculpted. The toes, again, don't really appear to have too much of a gloss or anything on them, as a lot of the other ones have had that, but they still look pretty darn nice. The overall sculpt looks really nice in my opinion. And then coming up here, we can see that orange now is the primary coloration of the stripe that runs down the side, and it looks very beautiful. And then we get to the tail, and again, the sculpting of the scales looks fantastic. You're starting to get smaller as we run down the tail, all the way out to the very, very long pointed tail. And then taking a look at this side, again, it's pretty much the exact same deal. The overall sculpt and appearance looks beautiful. The paint is applied very realistically and very, very beautifully, very naturally. I really like that. The overall appearance of this figure, in my opinion, is really, really cool. And you can position the tail layer if you would like it up or down, that's up to you. The only downside, in my opinion, to this figure is if you look at the back, and I think they actually all have this, so it's probably a widespread Indoraptor thing and not just to this one here, but you can definitely see a seam where the quill area has been added. And again, on the back of the neck, same deal, but I'm pretty sure that's the same on all of the Indoraptors, so it's not exclusive to this one. So this one is still probably my favorite of all the Indoraptor figures. Now, I don't recall if I actually mentioned it at the beginning of the review, but this one is one of the basic Indoraptor figures. So it's in the same group as the Dilophosaurus that I had reviewed, the two Velociraptors when we had the blue and the large Lost World type of a look to the other one. And then there was also a Pachycephalosaurus. There is an Owen that also goes with these guys, but I don't intend on reviewing him. Either way, these are all from the basic, in quotation marks, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom figures. They we used to believe they were Kohls exclusives, but turns out they are not. They're actually released at a few different stores like Kmart, JCPenney, and of course Kohls, like I had previously mentioned, but they are all considered the basic figures. And this one is definitely basic. There's not too much in the way of articulation like I had mentioned. Again, the jaw is not articulated. These do definitely move a little bit. And the arms, of course, are articulated. The legs are articulated, but again, they don't come out. They just go forward and back. There are swivels in the ankles, so they can move. And then the tail, of course, up, down, sideways, however you would like. And it doesn't actually swivel, if you can see here. A lot of the other ones have swiveled, but this one does not. And I believe this is the newest of the basic figures, potentially the last, but I hope not, because I feel like when they released that set at Kohls that included all of them, that was kind of a sign like this line was over and we're done making these larger basic figures. And I really hope that is not true, because I really do like these things a lot. I think they all look fantastic, and they're much closer, in my opinion, to being actual models more so than toys, simply because there isn't too much of a playability with the figures, even though they can easily be played with. But compared to the Grab and Growl and the Super Articulated, they don't have too many gimmicks to them. They are just pretty much straightforward, and they look beautiful. As far as the size goes, and you're going to have to trust me again that I am reaching the tail because this is a very long figure, you are looking at about 16 inches, so this may be the biggest one of all of these, and about 41, about 40 and a half, almost 41 centimeters. For a height to the top of the head, it's only about a little over 4.5 inches, about 11.5 centimeters, but it is down on all fours. If it was standing up tall, it would be significantly larger. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, and you can see that this Indoraptor is just massive compared to him. It is definitely a very, very long, very large figure, so you can see right there just how much longer it is. It is insanely large compared to this T-Rex. Now, when I state that this one is longer than that T-Rex by a mile, it is actually shorter than the Grab and Growl. So it is not the biggest Indoraptor that we've gotten, that is definitely for sure. And to really nail home that point, here are the other Indoraptors. And we'll just go from up above because that's probably our best choice. You can see that this new basic version is probably the smallest of all, with the Super Articulated being the second largest, and then of course the Grab and Growl being the largest for sure, because that is definitely a very big figure. But regardless, in my opinion, I definitely lean toward this basic version for being my favorite. Again, it's not going to be everyone's favorite because a lot of people like the other ones a little better, but I really do like this basic version. So again, I've heard a lot of complaints about the basic figures. They're not for everyone, but they are definitely for me. I love these basic figures, and I think they look so cool, so beautifully done, and definitely something that's very fun to repaint, and not at a bad price either. I paid about $11.99 for this guy at Kmart, so it's a pretty good price. And as I've repainted a few other basic dinos, I'm hoping to get a hold of another one of these to repaint at some point in the future and see just how nice I can get it to look. Because these figures look so stinking nice. I really love these basic figures. Again, not everybody will agree with me, and a lot of people don't really like them, but me personally, I absolutely adore them. I think they are fantastic, and I hope that this isn't the end of the basic figure line. I hope that they do make more in the very near future, because I would love to buy some other versions like a T-Rex or a Carnotaurus or anything like that of these type of figures. I think that would be just awesome. So if you would like to buy this guy, again, I can link you on Amazon, but he's going to be a little more expensive on Amazon than you would actually find him in store. I can also link you to the Kohls 5 or 6 pack or whatever is in it that includes all of the basic dinosaurs. So you can either go ahead and buy from one of those two places, which I will include links in the description, or you can just head to either a Kohls, a JCPenney, or a Kmart and see if you can locate them for yourself and buy them in person. Either way, I definitely recommend this figure. I think it is fantastic. So go ahead, go buy one if you would like, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.